Ryback. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How about you?
Good. You washing the MAGA hat? What's the deal?
Yeah, I got it. I got it right here just in case.
Just in case you gotta whip it out. We got some.
Right.
I was in Orlando this weekend. This past week, actually. I had 8 days in Orlando.
You're being an American this weekend?
Out there, just amongst the alligators and pythons and everything else. I'm a big wuss, dude. When I leave California, I just think the worst of everything. Like my buddy Brad Jett out there in Virginia always like laughs because whenever I go visit him or I'll go to any other state and I talk to him before I go, I'm always just like, dude, I just know I'm gonna go out to Virginia or even McFadden out at Wisconsin. I'm like, dude, I don't want to get eaten by a bear. I don't want to get trampled by a deer. Like I just have a feeling like when I go, it's gonna be something stupid like that. I feel like, and then everybody's gonna assume Ramos was trying to touch the deer or something, and they get trampled or gored by some kind of horn or something. So, and then meanwhile, like of course, all my California friends are like, "Aren't you worried about MAGA?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just take my passport with me. I'll be fine. I don't habla español anyway, so it's not like they're gonna detain me.
They're gonna build the wall around you.
Yeah, surround me just to. They're gonna build a wall to keep me out of their state. Like not.
Well, at least you got to give Disney a bunch of money.
Oh god, dude, yeah, that was. Oh gosh, I was reminded why I don't like Disney, but it was cool. I mean, it was better than I thought. But a lot of people on scooters down there. Good lord, like those Cartman scooters, and just not old people either, and not necessarily typical disability people. It's just more like, yeah, you have joint issues because your BMIs.
Lazy people.
Yeah, so just those kinds of things. They're big guys, but that's the thing too. Like you leave California, like we have big guys here, but like when I'm dealing with, like I said, in Virginia, West Virginia, stuff like that, like they're asking like for like 4X, 5X shirts, and I'm just like, and then I see them, and I'm like, they're big guys. I'm like, I feel little enough as it is at a wrestling tournament, but then you got these massive dudes there, and I'm like, oh god, dude, it's just terrible. I definitely learned that I'm on the bottom of the food chain when I'm in other states for wrestling events. So shout out to those guys though. Those guys are super cool, dude. Tank and my boy Brad. He's family actually, like long family. He's a Ramos somewhere down there. He won't mention it publicly though. I just outed him. And then McFadden out there in Wisconsin's good people. But how was holding down the fort in California for me? What anything going on?
Good, just some lower level tournaments. We had quick little lower level one at Esperanza this weekend. We were rolled up mats by 12:30. It was awesome.
Woo!
Everybody got 4 or 5 matches.
I'm sure the refs were super pumped about that, right?
Oh yeah, they were so excited. They wanted to charge us triple for ending early and getting it done so quickly.
You got to be kidding me, dude. What could they possibly have to complain about? They get paid by the bracket, right? You would think, like, hey.
Well, they get paid by the bracket, but we didn't do brackets. We did round robin brackets, and there's no formula for their little, pay scale thing that they're all looking at. So they couldn't figure out how. So we took the total number of matches, figured out what like brackets would be. So it ended up being 8-man bracket with extra matches in there that they added $45 fee per ref or something for. It ended up being like $650 for 181 matches. It turned out to be like $105 an hour. It was ridiculous.
You are kidding me, dude. That is insane. Like, in what division do referees make more money than coaches? Like, not in the NCAA, not in the pros. Like, that is insane. Like, that is so much money for. Why? I need to go get my rep. I need to get my stripes. That's what I need to go do. That's a lot of money. And they were upset.
Yeah, they were upset. I don't know. Like, first they told us it was be $1,000, and we're like, we had like $1,200 in entry fees. We're not paying $1,000 to the refs. You guys can go fly a kite. And then we started negotiating, I guess we'll call it. And I guess next time we're just gonna have to up front say this is what we're gonna do, which we've never had really a problem this way. Because our goal is to get kids matches, right? I mean, it's lower level. Let's get kids matches. Let's get the experience happening, get as much, not 0-2 and go home. You know, these matches most of them last 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Very few went full go. I didn't see any overtime matches.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran 2-1-1. And because we didn't run 1-1-1, they added more money on top of that too, because it costs more money. So, yeah. And then it came out that they're in negotiations, at least the Orange County referees one. It's a negotiation with CIF to just charge a flat rate of $28 per hour per referee. Yeah, and I don't even think that's the varsity price. I think that's the lower level price. I think it's gonna be like $32 an hour for varsity. So I just straight up say, like, well, then I think we should get a refund if the refereeing sucks.
No, 100%, dude. That's the thing that gets me is you, especially on the girl side. Okay, you can have a set of referees, and they don't typically. You're not getting Mike. You're not getting a lot of the high level refs at girls tournaments, you know. And they'll send Joe Schmo first tournament out there, and he could be at Carter next week, you know, where there's definitely seeding implications later in the year with a head to head, and not that it's happened at Carter, but I'm just saying it's an example. But someone could shit the bed on a call, cost a kid a match, ends up costing them a seed later, and they're just terrible refs. You know, there's no, like, you know, I don't know. That seems crazy to me that you don't have a performance evaluation. That would be important. Like, I'd like to see that. Like, okay, let's rate these referees, you know. But
well, they do have, like, I was talking to one ref, and this was like a training one for us. So they had all like AA refs there that were monitoring and helping out the newer non-AA refs. I guess they have to do 2 qualifiers a year, the non-AA guys.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and I was talking about like performance, and he said they do have a performance evaluation, but it's like a peer performance evaluation. It's not like by coaches. And I was like, well, that's not fair. I mean, if the guy's just a weirdo or a jerk or whatever, and the other refs don't like him, then that just screws him, you know, because I know there's some good refs that aren't AA's.
Yeah.
Because of whatever reason, like, you know, they put their hand in their pocket during the match, so they get deducted a point. It has nothing to do with, you know, or their shirt comes untucked or something stupid like in their little referee guideline book.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But it's all political.
Terrible. Hey, I just got a text right now, dude, requesting your hat. I don't know, dude.
For real?
For real. I just got a text.
It has to be one of your family members.
So I'm actually gonna go the other way. I'm gonna make a blue MAGA hat. so we'll be supported on both sides. but yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's kind of crazy to think, like, $32 an hour, $28 an hour on a side gig. Man, that's a lot of money. I don't know. I mean, I guess on some, I don't know what refs necessarily get paid, so I probably shouldn't comment on that. It just seems like a lot of money for something that you like doing anyways. $28 an hour. You're praying that tournament runs slow, you know. And well, I guess it would take care of probably the biggest problem I have. I hate when I have a, I hate when when you fade out. I was like, what happened? And I was like, oh shit. My biggest pet peeve with referees, especially at joints, is they show up and they're like, where's my check? Like, you know, and it's just like, gosh, like, I don't know. I've never had a job where I showed up and was like, yeah, I'll take my money now, thanks. Like, you don't know how well I'm going to do or anything like that. But I mean, shoot, I would tip a good ref if it was, you know, they were good enough, or just on top of it, made it interesting. I mean, there's some referees out there that make it real interesting. There's that kid that I think he went to Downey High School, African-American kid. He, like, dude, he gets in it, man. He's like hopping over. He's got a nice little way to call a pin. He's awesome. Like, he's still out there. I love watching that guy ref. You know, it's just, he's not involved in the match where he's like in, like, blowing calls or anything like that. But when you need him there, he's there, you know? So that's always cool. I think refs could do a job like that and make it a little more interesting. But that's a lot of money, man. I don't know. I'm sorry you guys walked away like what with hopefully $500 on a tournament on a Saturday.
Snack bar on the door. It was a smaller tournament we were expecting, but with you get 18, 20 contracts back, you're definitely not filling a tournament because we got onesies, twosies, threesies, a couple full teams. It was good. It was a good experience for everybody. Not one coach complained. A lot of coaches were like, "This is awesome. I get to go have lunch with my family today." My wife's gonna wonder what happened.
Yeah.
So it was neat.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's always nice to have a little extra family time on a day on wrestling time of the year too. You don't usually get that, so I'm sure they were happy about that. I know Ramirez had his. I wish we could have got him on the podcast today, but he's busy. We kind of blasted him short notice, but he had his tournament this weekend too. So hopefully the next podcast we'll be able to get an update on that. I dropped the ball. I should put that out there for people. I tried to get his quarter zips mailed to me before I left to Orlando. They ended up getting here after, so I couldn't get them to him. So I got to mail those out to the winners for that. So that's my bad. It's not his. I got to take that on the chin. Ramirez runs a good tournament. Has really good awards. So just kind of clear him on that. But I saw that the Hillcrest had some duels too. It looks like Foothill won it. Montclair took second, and then Hillcrest took third, and it was all on point differential. It looked like. So that's what they put on here. But yeah, so that's cool to see. I know, like, I like dual tournaments early, especially if I have a big team and I got a lot of new kids. I want dual tournaments to kind of get them their matches in and stuff. I know that Cerritos was at Western this weekend, and they had a couple of placers there. Look, another lower level tournament, and then Capistrano Valley had their tournament this weekend too. So that was,
isn't Capo Valley's next weekend?
I think it was Capo Valley. I gotta double check that actually. Then I could have swore that's what I was told. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but I pretend like I'm not. And then there's some big. Actually, there was a pretty big win over at that tournament. Paramount showed up. Paramount has returning state placer and Masters champ. She went down to Sam Snow. So that was pretty impressive win for Snow. But then Snow ended up losing in the finals to the girl from Valencia, 1-0. So early on, of course, you're going to get that kind of back and forth and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a good win for Sam Snow, and then kind of dropped the ball in the finals there. And then Liz Salapago, I know, won the heavyweight division. Hayani Bullock won her weight class. I know you talked to her dad. Yeah, so you talked to her dad. So that was good for her. So there are some good matches there coming out. I think this coming weekend though is the big one, right? That's the big gun. Chavez is going to be busy with Carter.
Yeah, Carter.
Days of Carter grind.
Like we keep neglecting the North, but our Northern California correspondent, can't find the time to come on to give us any updates. So we'll see.
I know that's including the fact that we're actually an hour and a half earlier today. We've done it later in the past, and I don't know. Maybe the swamp's really deep. He has a hard time climbing out of it, or just carrying Jeff's purse. Maybe he just gets tired. He said he was tired today.
I just think that work schedule just gets to him. That grind Monday through Friday. He's just so tired for the weekend.
Dude, it's hard. I think it's a 7-day-a-week gig for him because he does the same thing every day. So it just seems like, it's probably just lulling for him. But yeah, I mean, if anybody out there in the Northern California wants to come on and talk about NorCal, Central Valley, SAC section, just hit us up on the comments or DM us. Let us know, because we really want to know what's going on up there. We don't want anybody to think like we're neglecting that area. But I saw Golden Valley too had work put in this weekend too. A lot of people are getting after it. Any changes that you heard of or anything? I know Paloma Valley beat Corona last week. Yeah, and that's a big win. But you got to remember too,
they don't have all their transfers eligible yet.
Exactly. That was gonna be that's the one caveat I was talking about with some people. Was like, hey, big win for Paloma Valley. Paloma Valley always does a good job. They got great coaches, good kids, but if you got to hit Bowers up before that deadline, before the transfer rule, you can get a couple of wins on them and have some bragging rights over them.
You got to get the duel before January with Bowers.
Yeah,
definitely Birmingham. If you can get the duel before January with Birmingham, you're going to
win. No, that wouldn't be fair. But you would win on forfeits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably a good way to get it. So, but yeah. So those are some good wins. I saw when I was in Orlando, just kind of following everything. I saw those wins and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It makes you kind of wonder, okay, like what those teams are bringing to the table. Are they heavy hitters really going to be in the mix at the end of the year, or is it just a timing thing? Not knocking anybody, but there's some reality to those kinds of things. So
yeah, what's weird is, I guess I don't understand it. Maybe a lot of schools are different. Is I was talking to some coaches this weekend and they were saying like some of these girls have been wrestling for 3 weeks. Like they've been practicing as a team for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what have you been doing before that? It's odd. Like,
no summer workouts.
I just don't get that. Oh,
I think
no
a lot
summer
of
workouts. No.
There was this one guy named Trevor who used to coach, and every time you wrestled his girl, he'd be like, "Hey, tell your girl take it easy. This is my JV girl." And you see that girl at their section or their state later in the year, and it's like, what the heck? Like, it was always that, It's like, but I think sometimes it's a little bit of a buffer for them if they should take a loss pretty hard. They've only been wrestling for 3 weeks, but don't take them to Carter. Don't take them to Santa Ana. Don't take them to Estancia or Esperanza. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, you got to go out there. That's fine. But I'm excited though. I'm super pumped for this season. This weekend with Carter coming up and some of these other tournaments coming in. Kind of sad to see some other stuff going away, but man, I'm pumped up. I'm excited.
It's gonna be fun to see where some of these girls end up because some of them are kind of heavy right now. But I know, I mean, they're not close to the weight class they think they're going or their coach thinks they're going. Same with boys too, but boys seem to cut a lot more than girls.
Mm-hmm.
There are some girls that are like super, I don't know, disciplined, like we'll call it. Not now, but during season, when season gets going, we'll see the steady descent. But
now, where do you think someone like Jersey Estrada is going to end up?
Somewhere between Amit and
Bowman?
No, I think Amit and Lily.
You think she's going to be in that area? You don't think she's going to be under those two?
I don't know. We'll see. She's one of those girls that's good at cutting weight. I know she does. She wrestles a lot of different weight classes throughout even the off season. Sometimes I think just to challenge herself, like Figueroa does, and just goes, where's the best person? Let me go that weight. I mean, she may not be weighing that, but I know she goes that weight class.
Yeah.
But I think she's going to try to challenge some of those. Hopefully for us as fans, we get to see some of those matches earlier in the season.
Not only that, but I hope that they say it so we know to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody puts it on. I mean, that's the one thing I will say about Gross. Like, everybody's on Seth Gross right now on the boys' side in college because he missed the match with Dayton Fix. But you know what, dude? When there's a big match, they put it out there like, hey, I'm going to bump up.
Right, but I think that, and this isn't talking about any girls in specific, I'm saying high school kids and more the coaches than the kids, if somebody does say it, they're going to run.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's just what I think. If somebody does say, like, if you say, I'm going after Gracie, I'm not saying Gracie's going to run, so that was a bad example. Like, I'm going to go after this person. To protect seating and stuff, there's maybe a handful of girls and coaches that are willing to take that challenge. I'm just saying a handful. I'm not naming names.
I would say more that there's the term
Unless they
handful.
really hate each other. Unless they hate each other, like for they both have the same boyfriend or something like that. Then it's let's go, let's scrap, let's put it all on social media.
Yeah, no, that some of the social media stuff, man, it's brutal. Like that Kermit the Frog Instagram account. Oh my god, that thing is. If anybody hasn't seen, what's the name of it?
It went away. It was called.
Right? Oh, that was the best
Yeah,
Instagram account. It was
it went
brutal.
away.
Like it was a boy wrestler and a girl wrestler just going back and forth on memes with against each other. And oh my god, it was hilarious that they would have that kind of sense of humor with each other. But um yeah, I would say the term handful of coaches is really, really more towards the coaches who are willing to go any place, anytime and wrestle.
Yeah.
Because majority of coaches are avoiding matchups, in my opinion. Strictly in my opinion, for whatever reason, for good or for bad, to me, majority of coaches are intentionally missing matchups. So, and I think you got some heat for that last year because you kind of voiced an opinion on that. But it's true, and I think that's why it stings a lot of coaches is because it's true. I think they don't like to hear it, but they definitely are party to it, And where I come from, it's like no, even if I'm putting my shoes on and I'm about to walk out of the gym and someone says, "Oh, I wanted to go live with you," well, I better text and let them know I'm going to be home late because it's you got to go put your shoes back on because you can't let somebody say you ran from them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe
But,
it's just old.
you get somebody like Cheyenne that is a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
If she announces that she's gonna go wrestle somebody, they're not gonna. And she said, "I'm gonna go 131 at Esperanza, right? Because I want blah blah blah." That person ain't showing up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's very few that are showing up. Now, I think on the flip side, if somebody says they're going after Cheyenne, she's going to be the type to be like, what way you want to go? Let's
Dude,
go.
she'll be at the scale saying, "Nah, they made weight." Like even if they did it, "Nah, they made
Okay.
weight." Can we wrestle first round? Can we make it a pigtail?
Yeah, don't see me.
Yeah, don't see draw me in. And Camilo never says anything; he just sits there quiet, So
Let's
yeah,
let's start. Let's talk about because it's going to come up. We're going to have issues. What about seating? Right. Let's talk about tournament seating. What should count this year? What shouldn't count? Like,
okay, let's do this. Okay, because this always gets me in trouble.
because this is going to happen.
Yes, it's gonna happen. It always gets me in trouble, and I every year I get told the same BS. And I think a lot of the criteria that because here's the thing, no tournament ever runs strictly off criteria. It's rare. You know what I'm saying? There's always
Nor
that
do they,
one.
nor do they have
But
to, except for CIF tournament. That's the only one that has to.
yeah, and I mean honestly, if I were you, like I would be like, put it out early. Listen, here it is, fellas. You want to be seated? This is what it is. Okay. You can use a lot of what they're already using, but I would say returning state champ, returning state placer. This is where it gets hard because it's like you could be a section champ, but some of those sections aren't really deep in some weight classes. So that's where, to me, that's when it starts to go a little kooky. Okay, but then you also got head to head, and then you have the situation where you were gonna have a head to head, but someone got an owie. You know what I'm saying? And you got an owie. Sorry, that's a loss. You didn't wrestle the match. You were good enough. You were healthy enough to win your semis. Healthy enough to wrestle the finals. And if you didn't, then hey, that's just something you got to take on the chin and you go back and get it. But that to me is how it should go. I don't know. What are your feelings about it?
Yeah, I think that those, criteria is like, even section placers and then qualifier placers, matter. But then my biggest thing is, what do you do with somebody like Amit? Do you make them earn their stripes,
100%.
or
You always
because I think you screw up the tournament by not seating somebody like that.
That's okay because you know what? Those girls, they're gonna earn their stripes. Let them earn their stripes. Don't give them anything. you know, and don't dump on the people who were there last year who did put in the work. You know, do we know they're going to screw it up? Yes, we know they're going to screw it up. But let them earn their stripes, you know, and that was a discussion I had with previous state rankers before, you know, oh, it's the common sense clause. Just take all the guessing work out of it. You know what? You won middle school state. You got 18 bears at your house. I get it, you know, but just go earn it. Like, what do you care either way? Nobody's on the most of the time on the most of these tournaments. Nobody's at their level anyways. They're gonna run through everybody anyhow. So, what does it matter? Really doesn't. You know. I don't know. Do you think they should be seeded right off the bat? Common sense clause.
I do, but I just think it helps the tournament. It actually, if I was the number one seed, I'm using quotes, like if my kid was the number one seed, I would actually want to be the 2 seed to that. The superstar coming in, let's call Lily or Amit or Mario's girl up there, wherever she goes, the Orland girl.
Yeah.
One of those you'd want to be the 2 seed to meet in the finals. Make sure they're not screwing up your side of the bracket or knocking somebody else out that probably is a 3 or 4 seed, whatever, that, you know, knock them out in the right spot. I think that's our goal is seeding is to try to make the top 8 kids place in that order and let the cream rise to the top. And there's always going to be, you know, you get past 2 or 3 in most tournaments. It's a crapshoot.
Well, let me ask you this. What does it matter if they bust the bracket or not? They're going to be the number 1 seed at the end of the year anyways. What does it really matter? Oh, because it wasn't an accurate representation of the, you know, La Puente tournament? Like, come on. You know, like, it's really not going to matter. At the end of the day, they're still going to be the number 1 person, whether you seeded them number 1 or not. So what, you're worried about the 5th place girl or the, you know, 6th place girl? The 3rd and 4th place girls are going to meet eventually. I mean, taking a 4th place is the same as taking a 5th place. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if a matchup that should have been going for 3rd and 4th happens a little early, the 4th place and the 5th place isn't really going to matter.
Yeah, I just think of somebody like Valdivia last year that was seated low and she earned her stripes most of the year and then kept getting, but she kept rising to the top anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like she,
at what point are some of these coaches going to learn? Like, I guess Bauer seeded her kind of high at his tournament. I seeded her really low at my tournament. And that's because I had a seeding committee that was not seeding correctly.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. I mean, to me, if they're gonna win it anyways, what does it matter if they're the number 1 seed? Yeah. You're really just worried about that 4 or 5 girl. You know, that to me doesn't really matter.
Did you see the new USA Wrestling high school rankings that are bunk again?
Every freaking year, dude. Every year they screw it up. And dude, it's the same crap every freaking year. Oh, just be happy they're doing them. Like, no, why don't you put a little bit of effort in? Why don't you realize the fact that Anya Drury has placed above the girls ranked above her or beaten them head to head? Like, but you still rank her below. Like, it's garbage. You know, or Angelina Gomez, who Angie Gomez was a stud for 4 freaking years, dude. Fargo finalist, like multiple times. Texas state champ, California state champ. You can't remember that she's been there for 4 years? Like, get out of here, dude. So stupid. Yeah.
It's like the NCAA is getting a 5th and 6th year now or something.
Yeah, like, it's just dumb. Like, it's just, and the problem is too, is the people that they have helping have number 1, have the USA Wrestling card information, so they know when this kid was born, when they started wrestling. Number 2, the people who help oftentimes run websites that the tournaments are run on. So it's not like they don't have the information, you know. So it's annoying, dude. It's really a thorn.
Even on the boys side, they got Jonathan Parada seeded or ranked 2 in state again this year. He graduated too. I don't know what the deal is.
Maybe they accidentally carried that over from JC State or something. Who knows? I don't know. That's I don't know. That's just. But again, that's one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one. The girls' side, it's like you. There's so many. There's so many. Like I know for a fact Alyssa Valdivia beat 3 girls ranked above her. You know, it's crazy. You know, and I don't know. It's silly to me. I hate looking at it, but I know even our girl Julia Salata was just like, "Are you kidding me? You have girls who just won high school opens that are or college opens ranked in the high school rankings. They get a clue. You know, to me, there's too many avenues of information now for them to just say, "Oops." You know, like it's
yeah, but that also, because there's so many avenues of information, that means somebody's got to actually put some work in, which is, you know, asking a lot of somebody to do.
Yeah, and then you'll get the typical result. Oh, why don't you volunteer? I don't run a major website, like the major hub that people go to for information. Like that's why I don't. You know, it's garbage. I hate those rankings. They're so dumb. And it's body of work, Josh. It's body of work. Like that's the thing that I was told too. Yeah. Oh, it's not
if you show up to all 5 of their USA tournaments.
Yeah, heads don't matter. You know, it's body of work. And I'm like, but body of work means that at that point, at that time, you were that person. But now I beat you, I'm that person. Like, I don't know. Just garbage. Who knows? It's seriously, it just pisses me off. Girls deserve so much more than that. You know, and just I don't know. If we don't get it from the, you know, the highest level, then I don't know where we would get it. You know, and the mat.com is the highest level we can possibly get, you know, for the girls right now, because it's the Olympic website. It's Team USA's website, and whoever's in their ear talking about they're doing those rankings, I don't know. I don't know what to say to them. You know, they have all the information possible. So I think that's garbage. But I wonder. Oh, hey, your assistant coach did the rankings last year. So when's the ones coming out for the Southern section this year? Have you talked to him?
I think he told me last year that he was not doing them anymore. And he kind of announced that he wasn't going to do them on the forum. I saw that, so we'll see if anything comes out. I know he's coaching again this year at Kennedy, so we'll see if he does the rankings or not. I know they take a lot of time, especially at the beginning when you're trying to do it. But once you get it dialed in, I think it's just moving. You know,
it's moving parts, right?
Moving parts now, just drop them, replace.
Nice. No, but yeah, those things are a little frustrating. Did you hear anything about that dual meet that they had? They had that all-star dual meet that some girls that I know you approached, or you had mentioned to other people to please approach them about doing a matchup. One of them against Bowman, and
are you talking about the one in Wisconsin or the Orange County All-Star one?
Well, we could talk about both of them actually, but I'm personally speaking about the Wisconsin one right now.
No, it was. I saw some advertisements, or not advertising, like press on social media, like something like Rumble on the Border or something. I don't know what it was called. And then I saw it, but I didn't see any results. I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but I know they had brought a bunch of studs in there to, I think, Wyoming Seminary came.
I'm trying to see if I can find.
But I think it's because Wisconsin doesn't even have a girls' division for wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. I know Ben Askren's been kind of a loud voice saying, like, to the state, what are you guys doing? Like, this is the fastest growing women's sport. You guys need to make a women's division.
Yeah. Well, they got Kilty there too.
I think Kilty wrestles for Askren Wrestling Academy, or goes there sometimes.
Yeah. That's the only time they ever really get involved, right? when they got some skin in the game. He's like, dude, I got one of the girls in the world.
She's pretty good.
She's all right. I would like to see that match with her and Bowman personally.
Oh,
she's kind of big though, dude.
I'd like to see her in Jersey. I think Jersey could give her all she could handle. You know, I mean.
Jersey, I think, would be a great. Dude, think about that round robin, dude. Think about. Hang on, okay. Now you got my mind going. If you had Kilty, Amet, Jersey, Freitas, and Bowman in a 5-way round robin.
Whew.
Talk about the biggest who's number one.
You could wrestle that thing probably 5 different times and come out with 5 different results. Would be my guess. I don't know. I haven't seen a couple of them wrestle more recently, but
yeah,
a couple of those names you've mentioned, I heard are getting a lot better still as as the months are progressing.
Yeah. And I mean, that's ignoring some of the other girls that in the country. I mean, we threw, Macy in there because
you got Kennedy Blades as a freshman.
Blades,
nobody else you can have.
Yeah, and then you got some hammers that you can throw in there along with them. Think about that bracket. I honestly would
pay
put
money
in to help fund that. Do like an 8-girl bracket of just absolute hammers. We're just super, super, super deep, and mix in some and honestly, this is a and we could kind of this will lead into something else later, but this is where I think that we'll get into it now. Actually, I think that AWL, that they want to do. I think that's where they're kind of dropping the ball. Is that they're kind of keeping everybody in the same weight classes. They should do catch weights and worry about style. Worry about styles, not just about names. And I think, because these girls all wrestle different weight classes, just putting them all in one bracket because they're all within 10 pounds of each other or whatever.
Yeah.
Have them scrap it out. And
I think we've talked about it before. Doing something very close to the same date as who's number one next year.
Yeah.
Make it a destination, get these people to fly out, and it takes some financing to do, but I think we could make it happen.
Dude, honestly, if we get that planned up, Somar Wrestling, dude, the company freaking puts it right back into the kids, pretty good percentage of it. So I'd be willing to do that for sure. If we were going to, build something like that, yeah, I'm super game for that. But, like you said, it'd have to be a destination thing. We'd have to make sure that it's, but give the girls something that's theirs. Who's number one? They put one match in there. I mean, is what it is. But I think we have enough talent here in California. We can bring in somebody and say, yeah, let's get this done.
Yeah. What weight is Amit right now? I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
She was 143 in Japan, I believe.
Yeah, she's not even ranked in the preseason high school rankings now.
Yeah.
She's in high school now, though, so I don't know why she wouldn't be. If you go win a big tournament in Japan, that should probably count for, I would guess, something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you won the Japanese tournament, you won the Pan Ams, she's pretty tough. I don't see why she wouldn't be ranked. But who knows? And I don't think there's any place where they necessarily write out the criteria that they use. So
no, I think they just look at all the placers and all the big tournaments and go, okay, this girl won these ones, we'll put her at 1. And these girls took 2nd, 5th, and 3rd, and we'll put her at 2. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's a criteria. It doesn't even say who is done by. That's irritating.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, actually. You don't even know who to voice to. It's just
it says by USA Wrestling, National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and Flow Wrestling. It does say. At least that's the article.
Yeah. So, yeah, those rankings are going to be. Think about the Team California though this year. I mean, I got a text message from Jeff that Jersey's not wrestling for California, so go figure on that. But even without her, Team California is looking real tough and real young.
Yeah.
So, but can't sleep on some of these other states, dude. Wisconsin looks real good. Just watching their girls move is just impressive. Just their motion. Like, yep, it's good. Seminary, their girls repping PA. I heard PA is real close too to start moving forward. They're kind of pushing.
And with all those, we'll call them transplants, transfers. Over there, will they wrestle for their home state or will they wrestle for Pennsylvania? If they wrestle for Pennsylvania, that's going to be a big boost, for Team Penn.
Yeah. So, That'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be fun to see that all play out too. I would. I don't know. There's some off-season stuff that can be done with those things too. But this in-season though, I'm super pumped. What tournament are you looking forward to the most though?
I'm really looking forward to Queen of the Hill. I think that's going to be good.
Ours has that new venue too, so it's going to be good. I think.
Yeah, that's what's going to be fun. Queen of the Hill, Napa. If we go, I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of a shit show there. They treat it. I think they always treat the Southern Section teams like crap.
Dude, you guys have no idea. Dude, it was terrible back in the day, dude. It was like blatant.
Yeah,
You'd have West Coast wrestling Northview like in the second round. It was like terrible. It's like, and it wouldn't be like one. It wouldn't be one match either. It would be like 6. Like, damn.
And then our tournament, just trying to see some of these good matchups happen. I think it's good enough timing where it gives it a couple weeks before qualifier, and
yeah,
get everyone see what's happening.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm interested to see how Carter comes out today this year. It's always a good tournament, but him going bigger, stuff like that. You're right. Queen of the Hill is going to be interesting. Bowers sounded like he had a lot going on, a lot of people, a lot of interest, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be good. Yeah, those two. Napa, I think we might make the journey this year. It's always good. I actually thought about maybe hitting up a couple tournaments without my team, just going up and checking out the Brittany David, see how tough that one is. A couple other ones. It's going to be interesting too, because now remember those central coast schools that were southern section are now central, so that's going to stir up that area too. And I know Golden Valley and Coach Gamino and Weary have a really good team there. Selma lost one of their girls. She went back to her old school, Sanger. So
yeah, Mariah Morales.
Yeah, Morales went back to Sanger.
So they lost Jersey and Mariah, which is probably like 45 points at state.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see how that section plays out, given that they lost a lot of points there with those two.
And they got 2 more qualifiers in that section. So.
So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. I just, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Sure. Not sure who's going to make the biggest splash, who's going to come out, kind of guns blazing, but yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. What weight class do you think is going to going to hit stride that you think is going to blow up? Because you got Garcia coming back, right? She's healthy again. She's wrestling.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see some of these weight classes. Hopefully, I kind of, as a fan, hope at the beginning some of these girls challenge each other and go after each other, and then if they want to spread out, they can spread out. If they want to challenge each other again, then that's even going to be better.
Well, I would do this. I would challenge any of these girls, especially if you're like a ranked girl coming after another ranked girl. Like, hey, it's respect. You can ask somebody for a match in a respectful manner. Like, hey, look, I'd really like to see you. You know what? Let me know what, where and when. Or if you take a loss, hey, look, I'd like to get that one back. Where you're gonna be, and don't take it to heart. Actually go out there and yeah, I'm gonna be here. Bowers was nice enough to call me when he said his girl wanted to wrestle Estrada. They ended up, he ended up changing, having her go a different weight, but I mean, they still met up and it was fine. They still had their match, but yeah, I just think it's respectful. There's honor in that, I think, right?
Yeah.
In a way, and
definitely
it's more, gets people pumped up. I mean, dude, how many people showed up to La Puente last year when Bowman was going after, Gracie?
Oh, I bet you they got 50 more people in the stands just for that match, just for the finals.
Easily just that, and and then you had it, at your tournament too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it helps, man. That helps the sport. It grows for, and it lets the girls that are lower level know, like, dang, I want to be that girl. I want to be that girl that, people call out. I want to be that girl that people are chasing down. I want to be on that spotlight. So, sorry, dude, I don't mean to look like a tweaker right now, but it's freaking cold out here. I'm in like my Somar sweats, and I'm just like, dude, it's cold. It's like
starting to get chilly.
No, seriously, that winter, you can get that winter freeze coming through. At least I'm not like Central Coast, like you said. It's really cold up there. But yeah, dude, I don't know. That's all I got today. How do you feel about maybe doing more than one podcast a week now, periodically at least?
Yeah, I think we need to, especially when there's something good that comes up, or just different perspectives of somebody from a different section or different coaching, whatever. Just shoot, some people were complaining that we were doing them too often. Other people were complaining we were doing enough. You can't please everybody all the time. So
yeah, they could always choose not to.
Yeah, but if they choose not to listen, then they might miss
Yeah, they're
something
gonna miss something.
about
So,
them.
like me getting eaten by a bear here at the foothills.
Yeah.
The dark. I have my these are noise canceling, right? And I'm like, I want to leave one off because I need to hear it. There's bobcats around here too, so I'm not a very large man, just a large head. So, yeah, but anyhow, I'm feeling good about the season though.
Yeah.
How's your daughter feeling? She feeling healthy?
Good, yeah. She's getting her ankle rehab still, so probably at about this week we'll try getting on the mat and go light for a little bit. Probably a couple weeks away from competition.
Sweet. Yeah, I got some new girls. Did pretty good this weekend. And it's just good when you got new kids and you see them and they're aggressive and not just like wild, but like they're trying. You know what I mean? Like I got video because I was out of town, obviously, and I got video of my new girls at tournaments, and dude, it pumped me up. They were in there just moving and boom, shoot, and just like that's what I want,
Yeah.
But god dang it, had a girl in the finals at Western, and she's winning the match, doing well. Guess what happened? You got one guess.
Head and arm.
Head and arm. I'm ready, dude.
We've talked about it before. I think head and arm should be illegal in lower level boys and girls. Period. Head and arm should be illegal. It's a freestyle move.
Oh god, I want to throw a flag. Bullshit. Like we're up 8-2. How are we getting head and armed? But yeah, we got caught. So, but a lot learned. So, but alrighty, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for holding down California for me when I was in Orlando. So,
no problem.
Happy birthday to my little one. She's freaking awesome. Also, before we go, dude, I know it's cheesy to some people, but big thoughts and prayers with all these people who are affected by the fires here in California, Northern California, Southern California. It sucks. We all live under the bear. Doesn't matter what side of anything you're on. At the end of the day, we are all California, and I feel really bad for those families that are affected by it. Thank you very much to our emergency workers who risk their life and limb to be out there and helping people. And on the other side of it too, thank you to people who just step up. You see people that jump in their cars and go out there and just start trying to help, and that's freaking huge. Sometimes I feel disconnected, like people don't really give a crap about each other. But it's unfortunate that it takes an event like we're having right now, for people to do it. But at the same time, you know what? Very fortunate enough to have people who have hearts like that to do it. So,
definitely.
prayers out to those people. So, anyhow, all right, brother. With that, we will see you all soon. Later. I'm gonna make that MAGA hat the default on this one.
Keep saying that.